If I were starting my interior design business all over again with no brand, no clients, just a clean slate and what I know now, what would I be focusing on? That's what we're going to dive in today's video. This episode is for anyone in their first year or anyone in a pivot, because sometimes we need to pause, zoom out, and understand what moves the needle forward. I'm going to be sharing what I would do differently, what I wouldn't bother with, and the 4 core areas I would focus on to build momentum in year 1. In the first year, you're not expected to have everything figured out. That's quite the opposite. That's the discovery phase. You're experimenting. It's where you start listening more than you're speaking. You're trying to understand what people need from you rather than trying to fit into a market that doesn't need what you have to offer. So start asking yourself these questions. What do people keep asking for? Where do I see gaps in the market? What kinds of spaces or client problems am I drawn to solving? This is where clarity comes in, not by guessing. The best part is that you're flexible at this point. You can pivot. You're not trying to force a vision into a market that doesn't need what you have to offer, but rather you're going to create an offer based on what people need from you. So we're going to be taking in feedback, real life experience to shape your niche, to build your ideal client avatar. The little takeaway is that year 1 is not for perfection, but it's for experimentation. So once I'm clear who I want to be helping, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to perfect a website or brand at this point, especially not investing tons of money into a web designer or a brand designer, because we still want to experiment. And what we need to focus on at this point is trust and visibility. The first thing that I would focus on is a simple but professional online presence. And that means you don't need a full custom website right now. What you need is a clean, professional looking landing page that has all the information that people need to understand what you do, who you are, and how they can get in touch. And a really great tool for landing pages, I'm not sure if you even know that Canva can do landing pages, websites for you, but since it's a tool that you most likely are using to create presentations, mood boards, mock-ups, whatever it is, use the same tool. Don't waste your time trying to learn a new tool at this point. So use Canva. It's going to give you a professional and beautiful and elegant website without you having to spend more money on a web designer or another platform like WordPress. And you can get it done fairly quickly. My team and I actually have put together a great bundle to help you shine online. That's the name of the bundle. And it has the Canva template for the website. It actually has 4 pages for the website. You will get all the information that you need to have in there for people to know what you do, how to reach out to you, and a little bit more about your services. And you also get social media templates. So we're going to add the link to the description if you want to check it out. Number 2 is consistency on socials. What do I mean by that? A lot of people understand that they need to show up on a platform like Instagram. So if you have defined that for your ideal client, Instagram is a great place to be, awesome. But a lot of people start posting 5 days a week, sometimes twice a day. They do that for 2 weeks and then they stop completely. What is the problem with that? With everything that you do, whether it's going to the gym, eating healthy, you need consistency. You cannot expect results from something that you're going to be doing twice and then for 6 months you're not going to be posting anything. So it's better to start posting twice a week, maybe 3 times, but make sure you do that in the long term. When I started in my first year, I consistently posted on social media a few times per week. It wasn't crazy, but I did it for years. Actually, we're still doing it at least 3 times a week. It hasn't changed in 5 years. And people will be expecting a post from you. If they know you're consistent, you post every Tuesdays, every Thursdays, they know they're going to expect a post from you. But if you disappear after 2 weeks, they're going to forget all about you. Whatever you do in life, it's better to start slowly and increase if you get used to posting and you find it enjoyable. You've gotten over the fact that you need to show up on stories. I know many people feel weird about showing their face on stories, but once you feel more comfortable with the process, it's much easier for you to increase to 3 days and then maybe 4 days. And if you stick to 3 days, but you do it consistently, that's enough. I put together a free Instagram strategy that I used to take me from 0 to 3K with under 1,000 followers. It's very simple, but it ensures that you are consistent with your content, and it helps you define pillars. So, for example, you want to have a good mix of posts and reels. You want to include some testimonials from past clients. You want to show before and after. You want to talk about your services. What we don't want is to always show the same thing. So, we don't want to pitch our services every single day. We want to mix it with client testimonials or process work on a project. So ensuring that you let people into your world, it's going to not only make you visible, but it's going to build trust with your audience. Number 3, you'll need a few well-designed documents. Documents that will position yourself as a professional. People don't need to know that you are in your first year. If you have a process that feels professional from an established business, you know what you're talking about, you're setting boundaries, healthy boundaries with clients, you're explaining your process, there's no guesswork, it's clear, they feel taken care of from the first moment that they inquire about your services all the way to the moment they onboard as clients, and all the way to the handover, then they will see you as a professional. We created an amazing bundle of client documents for our clients based on what we've been doing with clients one-on-one. They were also the documents that we wish we had when we started our design business. And these documents are everything that you need to nurture your inquiries coming through, your clients, and then offboarding your clients. So all the documents that you need throughout the project are in this bundle. I will link it down below. It's, from that first inquiry, you want to make sure that people get the type of information that they need at this point. So the investment guide, a portfolio, then when you onboard them, a welcome packet, a fee proposal. So those are the kind of documents that will make you look like a professional designer. And if you're in year 1, you need to focus on finding clients. We don't want to spend weeks drafting beautiful documents. So these bundles are not only budget friendly, but they're going to save you a ton of time and make you look professional. One of the biggest mistakes that I see designers make is that they started out with too many offers. So instead of just focusing on one service, they have 5, 6 different services, and it's very hard for you to provide a great service when you're trying to do too many things. But if you focus your attention on maybe 1 or 2 offers, then you can ensure that what you do for these 2 offers is going to improve over time, and you're going to become really good with these 2 offers. So one of your services could be a consultation, maybe designer in a day, maybe a designer for a day type of service that you can do online. And then you can do full build if that's what you do. But if you're going to do full build, do you want maybe just a smaller offer for people who have a smaller budget? So maybe something online. It's just about not creating too many different things that make people a little bit confused. And that's one of the issues that I had initially. I was trying to do too many things. Actually, it wasn't in the first year. It was possibly in year 3 or 4, where I was trying to do so many things, and it was confusing for people to understand what we were actually doing, because we were doing web design, branding design. We're an outsourcing firm where people could delegate their technical work, and then we started doing systems as well. So setting up systems for you, setting up a CRM tool, setting up a project management tool. And in the end, it confused our ideal client because they weren't sure what we were actually doing. And it was difficult for us to market because we had too many offers that we needed to talk about. And we would lose track and not be great at talking about any of them. I feel much more confident about what I'm offering now that we've scaled down than when I was trying to sell so many things, because then you're also not clear about what you're trying to sell or how often you should be selling it. So now that we are more focused on one thing in particular, then we just talk about it all the time. We show examples and we improve the service all the time as well. That's really important. And one piece of advice to finish on this topic is that your services will evolve and it's completely fine. You evolve on a daily basis and the market evolves every single year and your business will also evolve. So your offer is going to be one thing in year one and it might be something completely different in year three. So you have to go with the flow as well, understand, always go back to step one where you are listening and not always talking. You're listening to what people need and what people tell you is working for them or not working for them. And then you can adapt your service based on that. And then in year one, I may say yes to a few projects that feel a little bit underpriced because at this point, what I need is experience. I want to be able to showcase my portfolio. So if they're good opportunities, but they're on a lower budget than you would expect to be paid for a project, just assess if it would be a good idea to just say yes so that you have more experience, you gain more experience as well in terms of the process because you're still going to be working with clients. So then it's the time you're going to be experimenting and updating your process of how you're going to be doing things so that when the perfect project comes your way, you're completely ready. You're going to be able to refine your process, refine your services, understand how to communicate with clients, what makes sense, how to set clear expectations, how to communicate with clients. I've said it already, I believe. So all these things, it's in year one that you're going to be learning them. And if there are projects that come your way, just take them. I'm not saying you should take 20 projects that are on a lower budget, but a couple, 2, 3 projects, if you think they will give you what you need to improve for the perfect project afterwards, then take it, experiment. And the last thing is, I would absolutely track your time for everything that you're doing on those projects, because even if you charge a flat fee on other projects or even those ones, it's hard to charge a flat fee if you don't have an idea of hours, because flat fees are based on hours, right? So you just estimate that the project is going to take you that amount of time and then you add whatever margin you want to add, 20%. So if you have no idea how long tasks really take, it's going to be difficult for you to price correctly on other projects. So take this time to get familiar with not only the process, but how long tasks really take. And all of this is going to give you so much experience for the right project afterwards. And finally, I would start building a repeatable process early on. Even if you're by yourself, you're only starting out, having a clear process is going to make you more efficient. It's going to save you time. It's going to provide a better client experience for everybody working with you. You're going to have the right foundations to start delegating because you will have been working with the same process for many projects. And when you have to bring in more people, you will just be able to share the process and they will know exactly what your expectations are. And I see so many designers, even in year 15, they still don't have a process. So they're unable to delegate because they reinvent the wheel on every project. They lose so much time and it's impossible for them to set clear expectations with a freelancer or an employee. Work on your process now. Trust me, you're going to be saving so much time later. So to recap, if I were starting my interior design business tomorrow from scratch, I would treat it like an experiment. I've seen it firsthand. The ideal client that I thought I was going to work with didn't end up being the one that I'm working with now. So experiment, just listen, ask for feedback, understand what the market needs that you can offer, and start from there. Then we're going to build a small but strong online presence to build trust and authority and visibility, of course. Then we're going to focus on 1 or 2 offers that you can deliver with confidence. And lastly, we're going to use these projects to build a strong process from day 1. So that's it for today's video. Everything that I've talked about will be in the description below. If you have any questions, you can comment as well, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.